bird and I was your child in the city, if you were a bird with big feathered arm wings, you could push me around to teach me the city. If you were a bird with big feathered arm wings, if you were a bird and I could be your child in the city.
Son the world, not to condemn the world, not to destroy the world, For God sent His Son in the world to save the world, not to condemn it, not to destroy it. But He sent His Son in the world to save the world. Jesus' name. But God sent His Son in the world, not to condemn the world, not to destroy the world. God sent His Son in the world, not to condemn, not to destroy. But God sent His Son in the world to save the world, not to condemn it, not to destroy it. But God sent His Son in the world to save the world. In Jesus' name. God sent His Son not to destroy, not to condemn, but God sent His Son in the world to save the world. Jesus' name. In Jesus' name. The Father, the Son, the Holy Ghost, God.
The good witch is sitting high on the hill with the city below and behind, smiling contentedly, smiling benignly, smiling. She gesticulates your back with her wand. She gesticulates behind your back, directing traffic. Everyone is very satisfied. Everyone is very pleased with the good witch.
Hi, this is the beginning tape for Very Special Arts Montana monthly art activities. First of all, I'd like to say a couple things about Very Special Arts monthly art activities. They're designed for group home use. It's a progressive series of videos where you can start at the beginning and work through different art forms, and it's like a curriculum. Now, to begin with, you'll be making a portfolio to keep the two-dimensional, that is the flat work that you do on paper. This program is designed to help you figure out new options for art activities to be done in your home. Now, the Very Special Arts Monthly Art Activities are all different art forms, including theater, visual art, poetry, music, and dance. Now, in a lot of these, the emphasis is on recycled and recyclable materials. So when you're finding the materials for the projects, it should be very easy to locate and make the objects that we show in the videotapes. We would like to help you fulfill the requirements for art, leisure, and recreation activities by giving you options like making a portfolio for your two-dimensional artwork to be carried in and stored. That's the first lesson. That's what we're going to cover today. These art activities will allow the clients to express themselves on another level, just besides the verbal level. This enables the staff and the individuals to have a better understanding of each other and their interests and abilities. I'm at the 39th Street Group Home in Missoula, where we've done all these activities and had wonderful success. And that's where most of the scenes you'll see are taken, here in Missoula. Each activity has a preface that gives a historical perspective on the art form, or a specialist in the area who has taught for many years, talking about the significance of the activities in human development. The goal of this program is to spark new interests in art activities for individuals. Using their abilities and interests, we hope that they become motivated to make decisions about activities in their leisure and recreation time. With these new ideas, individuals may feel like progressing through more activities similar to the ones we've started in Very Special Arts. Now, on the written document that is mailed with the videotapes, you'll be getting a bibliography list of other things you can read and research to find out more about these art activities. You can also contact the Very Special Arts State Office in Missoula, Montana, on the campus of the University of Montana. Now, for the first activity, I've chosen to have the individuals make a personalized portfolio. Now, a portfolio is used for storing two-dimensional, that is flat artwork. The visual artwork will be stored inside the portfolios, such as this, with a slot like this. This gives people the feeling that their art is important. They have a personal space to put the artwork in, to store it, to keep it nice, and to be able to pull it out when they would like to show people their artwork. Now, the materials for this are very simple. We've used poster board, yarn, a hole punch, some scissors to cut the yarn, markers, in this case a type of oil pastel called a cattle marker, and graphic letters. And these graphic letters are found in office supply stores or craft stores, and these are the initials of the individual. And this personalizes the portfolio so that they know it's theirs, they know it's their space to get into, and they can store their artwork there. The individuals chose the colors that they would like to use in both yarn and poster board, and were given the opportunity to use symbols and images that were personal to them, so that they have a feeling that they're expressing themselves on their portfolio. Now, this activity gives the individual a feeling that their artwork is of value, that they can store it when they'd like, they can pull it out to show people when they'd like, and it is an important asset to have a place to store individual artworks. At the 39th Street group home, Barbara, Lori, and Max began the process of making the portfolio. First, I made a template of holes to be placed over the other sheets in order for the members to punch holes themselves. Okay, Barbara, you can go ahead and... It's important to trace the holes so that both sheets of poster board have the same amount and they're spaced evenly. You may want to cut 2 to 3 foot lengths of yarn before you start the project, and tie a knot to secure the yarn when beginning the sewing process. Okay, there's your knot. That was great. Now, you can start doing this like sewing. You know how to sew. I began by modeling the activity of sewing and letting Lori and Max continue with minimal aid. You will continue the sewing process all the way around on the 3 sides so that you form a sort of pocket. You may want to have scissors on hand for clipping the end, which may get unraveled. Cattle markers were used in this activity. Cattle markers are thick sticks of oil and pigment that are very inexpensive and found at livestock and farm supply stores. Now, to begin the personalizing of the portfolio, you must have all the materials out and available for use. Cattle markers, oil pastels, anything to color these large sheets of poster board with. You want to encourage the individuals to use images that are important to them, that they like to look at, that have some sort of significance in their daily lives, or just let their imaginations go to work. You also want to encourage the use of various colors and coloring in on these large pieces of poster board. Various colors are very important for this, so that you get an attractive looking portfolio and the member learns to use and mix different colors. The graphic letters are then applied after the portfolio has been decorated with the images. These kind of graphic letters have a self-adhesive backing. They usually come in sheets, and so we had to cut them up before the lesson. Each individual chose his own initials, and with minimal help applied the letters to their portfolio. This gives a very professional look to the finished project. Again, there are no right answers in the making and decorating and personalizing of this portfolio project. This is to encourage personal expression and the valuing of personal expression, and to give individuals a place to store works of art. Hi, this is Suzanne from Very Special Arts. I'm the Educational Director of Monthly Art Activities. And this is going to be the Native American traditional drum. First we're going to see shots from Browning at a group home in Montana, and also at 39th Street here in Missoula.
Good afternoon, my name's Richard Laframboise. I'm here in Browning, Montana as a project for Very Special Arts of Montana. What we're going to do is make a traditional big drum. This is an elk hide behind me here. In preparation to make it into drum covers, it's necessary to flesh the hide. In order to flesh the hide, you have to make holes around the outside of the hide and put rope in and out of the holes. And then more rope is taken and put in around the rack and in through the looping of the rope that's attached to the hide, where you get this web effect. What that does, because of the pressure that's exerted on the hide, once I start fleshing it, it'll keep the hide from rubbing, causing friction and busting the holes, because there's a lot of pressure exerted on it, on the pounding with the tools.
After preparing the skins and the drum base, we went to Browning, Montana with Richard Laframboise, an Ojibwe from Turtle Mountain, North Dakota, who was our cultural liaison for the project. Laframboise has been making drums since his youth. And we worked with the members of the Tekakwitha group home to build the drum.
My name is Natalie Fox.
All the members of the Tekakwitha group home were present and participated in the making of the big drum.
This is Doris Jane Weaver, Margaret Techie Brown, Lucille Miller, Wally Newrow, Tina Garfield, Zelda Loves Him, Adrian Redboy, and Geneva Newrow.
So we're going to put
the base, which is of traditional design, is crafted from cedar and is 8-sided. The base is placed on the elk hide and used as a pattern. When soaked overnight, rawhide may be cut easily with scissors.
Okay.
Two identical circles are cut from the rawhide and used as the drum heads.
kind of follow it, you know, as best as you can, like that. Okay.
Now what? Richard, now what?
Okay.
Just go from behind, all the way behind.
When making a beater head, you must punch holes first in the leather so it's easily sewn.
If you run out of
Alright.
Okay, all right. Okay.
No, 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 no.
Not all of it. Not all of it. Just a little bit at a time. You want to help her?
These sewn pouches are then stuffed tightly with elk hair.
Okay.
The ends are then tied securely with sinew or twine.
All are those holes. Yeah.
As an alternative to stuffing, a leather swatch can be placed around the head and wrapped with a leather strip.
Well, it's nothing. It's just nothing major.
The lacing is cut in a circular manner from the remnants of the elk hide. About 20 feet was used in the making of this big drum.
You gotta remember this because the hides have gotta be on top of one another.
The lacing is then inserted through the slits.
We'll come back. Okay, we have to come opposite. Like this. You come up here like this. Like this. Then you'll come down. Okay, you come over.
And slack is taken up by slowly working around the drum a number of times to increase the tension.
Pull yours through.
It is then tied and secured and left to dry overnight for use the next day. This drum was made especially for and with the Browning home and was given to them as a compliment of Very Special Arts Montana. All right, this is the traditional method of making a drum with rawhide and a wood base. And this is the alternative, Very Special Arts group drum that's made out of rubber and a plastic cylinder base. And what you're going to see next are video clips from the workshops that we did at 39th Street to make the alternative drum. We hope that this tape helps you to adapt to your own group home situation and learn about the traditional Native American drum and then use the Very Special Arts method to either make a traditional drum or the alternative materials drum. Hi, I'm at the 39th Street group home with the traditional drum making materials. On the table there's rawhide and sticks and a barrel and different things that were used when the Native Americans originated this type of drum making. Now the footage from Browning includes these materials like the wet, softened rawhide. This is how it looks when it's soaked overnight. When it starts out, it's very hard, like this. Rawhide innately just stretches itself when it dries around the shape that it's laid upon. The drum beater heads are made from sheepskin or elk skin that's turned inside out like this and sewn up. Now for alternative materials, things that you'll be able to use in your own group home, I've chosen some things that might help. Tire inner tubes and rawhide I've found are the best two materials for making a drum head. The drum head will have to be fit over some sort of cylinder or octagon shape, anything that will make a nice solid base that's hollow inside, that can be hollowed out completely, cut the bottom out. Plastic drainage pipe works wonderfully. This kind of food service bucket is probably the easiest thing to find to make a drum with. For the drum beaters, this is a long dowel that's about 50 cents at any hardware or craft store, cut down and made into a drumstick, easy enough with just the leather or fabric wrapped around the tip. The first thing you'll need to do is take your material for the head, drape it over, and do the marking. About 2.5 inches to 3 inches around the edge so that you have that slack. The next thing you're going to need to do is make the holes where the rope is going to go. I chose just some clothesline rope because it's soft and it's not going to affect the holes at all. Clothesline rope, very heavy twine, rawhide strips, leather strips, anything that can be pulled tightly. Okay? So the next thing to do is make the holes around the edge. And you don't want to make slits in rubber or in the rawhides. You want to make circular holes. And this is going to be interesting for the clients too, to make holes instead of slits with the scissors. You kind of want to bunch up the rubber a little bit and go ahead and cut. If you do make slits, the rubber has a tendency to rip. And you don't want that because you're pulling the holes with the rope as a final product. So you want to cut holes about 2.5 inches apart all the way around. See, we're going in about 2.5 inches too. All the way around the entire cover. Remember, you'll be doing this with 2 covers, exactly the same size circles depending on your base. And you'd begin lacing it like a shoe. So what it's going to look like is 2 even ends of rope, just like a shoe. And you're going to start making those crisscrosses and lacing all the way around, alternating sides. The main thing you have to remember is to keep going around the drum, tightening as tight as you can get it. The tighter the drum head stretched over this cylinder, the better the sound's going to be. Okay, so by the time you're finished with this, you'll have something that might look similar to this. This was a piece of plastic drainage pipe from an irrigation store that they just gave me, and also a truck inner tube, tire and clothesline, and just the beater. As an example of taking the lesson into the home, the members of 39th Street, along with Richard LaFramboise, made the alternative materials drum. This may give you an idea of the situations and problems you may encounter when building the drum.
Let me just have that out there like,
I'm very, very concerned.
He's making Deal? That's going to be good. And Barbara, you can help them. Why don't you guys sit down on the ground? Okay.
That's Dennis.
Because of the nature of the...
With a little preparation, including pre-cutting and measuring of the materials, the lesson progressed smoothly.
Right. Okay, Sheena, come here. Let's watch what he's doing. You can just watch for a minute, okay? It's so nice to see.
As long as I'm next.
Be really careful, Barbara, so you don't make it too big.
Differing skill levels dictated who was able to perform the various tasks.
It's pretty new, too.
Good, good, good.
You lost your track here?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay, you're doing a really good job. Just keep following that green line, this green line. Okay? Everyone was able to find an area of interest which allowed for their strengths and abilities to be used.
Yeah, show him.
How did it go? Let me see.
All right.
Pretty good.
And we're going to put the cotton inside the circle. Okay? And then I want you to hold this in your hand. Like this. Okay? And then we're going to put this beater thing in.
Encouragement and flexibility are 2 ingredients that are irreplaceable to a creative lesson.
It's all really tight. And this is going to be a beater for the drum. Start doing what we're doing now. Okay. Do you want to...
Did you cut a wall?
You did.
Sheila. Get over here and cut a
Can you
wall.
cut that string right here?
Sheila.
We want to cut that.
You expect everybody
right
to do
there.
all your stuff. You should help us out.
Okay, let's see where we at here. Okay.
Want this into a knot?
Well, do you want to... Yeah, why don't you make a nice knot there? Yeah.
Kind of like right here.
Okay, can you put a pause button on this for a minute, Mr. LaFramboise, please?
Not that hard.
Sheila, I highly recommend you get busy.
That's
Wrap it around there. We got one made up there. There, that's right. Okay, wrap your top. Okay. Okay, you want to wrap this up here too. Go ahead, try it out.
Golly.
We're gonna make the drum now, the big drum.
Yeah.
So you can come over.
We'll sing on the drum after we get done. Okay.
As the drum materialized, the anticipation became a motivation in itself.
Really something big. Okay, like that. Got this room here. Okay. Like that. Okay, but we'll put it on real loose at first. We alternate sides.
Oh.
Okay.
I'm trying harder.
Yeah, you're doing a good job. Okay, we gotta put each rope. See how it goes like this.
Oh, that's right.
Okay, put that in there, Matt.
Boy, I did good.
There you
Boy,
go.
I did good, boy, Acre.
Okay, here, Max. Now put this one through here.
By building the drum collectively, the members were brought together to enjoy their own group drum, much like that in the powwows used by the Native
Put that up
Americans.
through here. Here, let her put this one
Sure I'll do it.
through here. Right up through there. That's right.
I'm gonna
See,
go get it.
what do we have here? We must have we cut one too many, but that's all right.
You did nice.
Yeah, you just know,
Good
you know
job.
exactly.
This is good, huh, Suzanne?
I like this.
The drum was ready to use and played that evening.
Okay.
Hiya, 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 hiya.
Hey, all right, all right.
Hey,
All